Less stress, more time, more money. Welcome to the Cashflow Contractor. Short.
Martin, we're spending some time together this morning.
Yes, sir.
Recording several little small episodes, a different format for us.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm heading out of town next week to Morocco, going to the motherland. Going to take my daughter and my family for the first time, or my daughter for the first time. My wife and I have been. But it should be fun. Going to introduce her to
you guys lived
whole
over
new
there
world.
for 6 months, didn't you? You and your wife?
Yeah, a little bit longer than that. My wife and I moved there in fall of 2016, came back summer of 2017.
Okay.
So yeah, we were there for a good while, and it was a really cool experience for the two of us early on in our marriage.
Powell, your wife, is a magnificent person, but I always wondered how a gal from East Texas is going to do in Morocco. Of course, I've never been to Morocco, so all I have is stereotypes, right?
Yeah, well, they're really not that different.
Oh,
I'm
no.
just kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so I'm going to be gone, but we're recording 4 episodes today, and listeners will get them on a weekly basis. But we've got a pretty fun little concept that we're going to try with some rapid fire questions. Martin's got questions for me in this episode, and one of the next ones he'll be up to bat. But I have no idea. I know that the topic is marketing, so that's my one of them. Yeah, that's what I know. But he's gonna ask me roughly 10 questions, rapid fire, and I've got 60 seconds to answer. So, are you timing me? Do I time myself?
I'm not worrying about it.
Well, I'm going to hold you to it for sure.
You don't have a timer that goes on the screen here?
I wish I did. Maybe I
can do it with
you
my
can put
phone.
your phone up with a timer, and it's okay. We'll put a timer on 60 seconds, and we'll hear it go off. Might take Martin ages to figure out how to use a timer on his phone.
Hey, I make eggs. I make boiled eggs. I know how to use a timer. And I can do laps too. LAPS, not LAPSE. So these will be 10-minute episodes then.
Roughly, because we tend to talk in between things and whatnot. But yeah, let's call it that.
Hey,
so I'm ready when you are.
I have to tell you something about ChatGPT.
Okay, go ahead.
One of my former clients sells compressed gas, but she bought some software to manage routing, and the gas is delivered in cylinders. She didn't say anything about what was in the cylinders, but she said, "Is ChatGPT funny? Write me a joke. Why does my route management software have difficulty?" And ChatGPT came back and said, "Because it can't handle the pressure."
Wow.
That's pretty good.
That's a really good.
And she never said it was compressed. I mean, she said use the word cylinders, but
wow.
Yeah.
I've got some good Norm Macdonald jokes, but we'll save that for one of the future episodes.
Okay,
that
now
record in like 20 minutes.
before I start the 10-minute timer. Or
No,
10
just a
sec-
1 minute timer
Well, that's
for
what I
each
mean.
question.
The 1 minute timer, I have to have time to think before I start the timer.
Okay.
I'm not a
That's
good
fine.
rapid fire guy, at least not in response to questions. Well, I am, but I never know what I'm going to say.
Well, you have to worry about that on the next recording. This one's all me, I think. So.
Okay. Oh, I'm
So
asking
go ahead,
you.
hit us off. Yeah, you're asking me.
Oh, you said you were going to go first. I thought you meant ask questions. Okay,
Yeah.
Khalil, you're a marketing guy. Have been for a while. Have a lot of experience. That's a preamble to the questions, right?
That's a preamble. Okay.
So, what is good marketing? How do you define it?
It's a great question. What is good marketing? I think good marketing is reaching your intended audience with what they want. It's joining their conversation, not interrupting their conversation, but it's joining their conversation with something that addresses an opportunity, a goal, a challenge, an obstacle that they're facing, and helping them understand their problem and define their problem very clearly and introducing a solution as well. But I would say good marketing is all about who you're talking to and talking in their language and joining their conversation to help them make a purchase.
Okay, second question. Non sequitur to the first one, but Everybody has heard the word brand, right?
Okay.
I'm sure everybody has, especially out in Oklahoma where we do that to cattle. But in marketing, what is a brand?
A brand is what your customers say it is. And I think you can boil down brand into, different categories and even brand marketing, but to make it more succinct for everybody in this rapid fire question, a brand is what people see, what people feel, and what people say about you. It's your personality. It's the style of your company. It is the message that your company gets out and the language that they use. Just like you have a personality and an identity as an individual, your company has the same thing, and it's your customers that get to say what your brand is.
When I think about marketing and what it was when I began in business, it's completely different now. Obviously, that's like wasted airtime saying that. But How has marketing changed in the last 3 years?
How has marketing changed in the last 3 years? So marketing has changed since you first got into business, but it hasn't at the same time. There are still principles of marketing that are really psychological principles that don't change and will never change. So those are important to be aware of. But how has it changed in the past 3 years? I think that you're starting to see a lot of changes to performance marketing. So that would be running ads on Google or on Facebook. The channels are changing. TikTok is becoming much more prevalent. Short form video is really becoming prevalent. And I think that with marketing moving forward, you're going to see a lot of organic social media really take precedence for people. And it's really going to, the focus on building an audience again is really going to take, rise to the top, where, ads took over for a little bit. Before that, audience really did matter a lot. So audience will be a big thing.
You mentioned the principles of marketing.
Okay.
What are some of the principles or all of the principles of marketing?
Man, so I can't go through all of them right now, but if I had to just narrow it down to a few things, you really need to not speak about yourself. It's really about your customer. So focusing on the customer is always going to be the most important thing. There are several different principles around how you can get people to take action. Maybe that's creating urgency. Maybe that's really defining the problem for somebody and highlighting the problem and amplifying that problem for them so that they're like, man, I really need to resolve this. The buyer's journey will always exist. That's people going from the awareness stage to the consideration stage to the decision stage when making a purchase. And you've got to address and join the conversation for your customer at each stage of the buyer's journey. I think also, you should never try to convince someone to buy your product. You should just be so good at describing what your product is that they want it, and finding the need. So market to the need, not to something you want to create.
Watched a great video the other day about Chat GPT. I don't even know, what's GPT stand for?
I don't even know. It's got some meaning, but
put it into chat and see what it stands for. Doesn't matter. Anyway, artificial intelligence, everybody knows about that. By the way, I read the other day, there were the first, I don't know how you define it, but there were first entity to get to 100 million subscribers.
Yeah, I saw that. In 30 days or something like that.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. So I'm on it, I'm old, and I'm starting to use it more and more. But this guy was making the point that SEO is on the way out. Mm-hmm. What are artificial intelligence is going to replace SEO. What are your thoughts on SEO?
Yes and no. SEO in the term of search engine optimization will probably change as it is today, especially because the amount of content that can be created using artificial intelligence so quickly and so efficiently and so well, it does a good job. It's going to become such a low table stakes. But if you take the sentiment behind search engine optimization, meaning we're going to take content and we're going to optimize it for people to view it, that will not go away. So you're going to see things that are a lot more difficult to do, but they're going to be taking content that exists and optimizing it so that people want to read it and want to find it, optimizing it for channels like TikTok and LinkedIn and all the other different social platforms repurposing content so that it is more entertaining, more viewable, more engaging, that will happen. And people still search for things. So it's not necessarily going away. As long as people are searching for things, search engine optimization will still be here. It just may not look the same as it does today.
Yeah, I think the guy I was listening to was making the point that if you go SEO, as a lot of our listeners know, it takes time and maybe it's expensive. It takes an expert. Very few people can do it themselves. But it takes up and they start to deliver in 3 months, 4 months, 5 months. And then his method, of course, he's hawking something. I can't remember his name. Barry was part of his name. He was showing that SEO was through social media was getting him responses the same day. I mean, not SEO, chat. And the element of chat that was doing it was really well worded.
Well, but I mean, at the end of the day, like local SEO is always going to matter. We're always going to be searching for the nearest restaurant whenever we're in town. We're always going to be searching for the coffee shop or for a place to, get our hair cut, whatever it is. That stuff will matter because people have to search for that. They don't know when they're visiting a town or where to go to eat or whatever it is.
Well, I'm
so
diverting.
That aspect of SEO.
Diverting from our format here, but
yeah, go ahead. Keep going.
I can do that on chat, can I? AI? Mm-hmm. Tell me.
Yeah, but it's probably not as good as being able, like the experience on chat, you're just reading words that come up on a screen, whereas on Google Maps, I can see, oh, wow, look at these pictures of the food I'm going to eat. And
right.
I can see the location very visually. So
right. Oh. Well, it's already changed things. Another thing that dawned on me is I'm starting to use chat more often for my queries and getting those written responses, which I'm sure format, things like that. They'll start putting pictures in there and videos in there. I've heard that already. Yeah. But I get, it's looked at a lot of sites. If I do that as a Google search, I get the 3 blue lines, right? The sponsored content at the top. And I'm not doing that anymore. I mean, probably 15% of my Google searches are down. And I don't know that I'd click on them and buy from them and get Google revenue, but I'm not looking anymore. And that's one way they'll be in effect. So, okay, I'll change topics here on you and see what you have to say about this. What's the difference between marketing and public relations?
Okay, so, I mean, public relations, PR in the biggest sense is really just trying to get attention, positive or negative, and then spin it into something really positive for your brand. But really, in the sense, I'll just even speak about brand versus maybe performance marketing. Brand marketing versus performance marketing. Performance marketing has a clear goal that is very measurable, that you can track, and that you can, really take step towards very quickly. So that's maybe social advertising, or maybe it's getting on a TV where you're looking at the metrics that your TV commercial performed on. But that is performance marketing, where you can pull a performance report very quickly and easily. Brand marketing are the things that you can't measure very well. So we have a great customer experience at our front door when people answer the phone. We have the best visuals of any company in our space. We communicate better than anybody in our space. We post organically on social media videos all the time. We have a podcast. It's things that you can't really measure very precisely to a direct revenue, but definitely improve the brand or the public relations of your company and the image that it has, so that people want to buy from you. Is that good timing?
Yeah, you're done. I keep forgetting to look down at my...
Maybe that was more than a minute. Who knows?
It was a little bit more.
Okay.
One thing in marketing I know is true. I've done it. Every client I've ever had have done it. You spend money on marketing and you don't necessarily see a direct correlation in marketing, not public relations, marketing. And one of the ways I define marketing has an ask in it. It has a next step. Hey, click here, buy this, give us your email. But what are the metrics people should follow? Because I've been around people who build websites and stuff, and then they come back and they've got all this stuff, clicks and bounces and click-throughs, and, absent a whole bunch more dollars in my bank account, what should people watch and look at and understand to tell that it's working and trending in the right direction? Their digital marketing.
Yeah. Well, it's very difficult as a smaller business to be able to do a lot of the things that larger businesses are able to do with some of the metrics that you get maybe from a Google Analytics account, maybe from a marketing tool that you use. But some of those metrics for a small business are going to be vanity metrics. Yeah, it's great that we have so many visitors to our website, but where's the revenue? And ultimately, you want to be looking at revenue, and you want to find what the closest next metric is to revenue that you feel like influences revenue. The reason why it's hard for smaller businesses is because marketing is just one, cog in the wheel. You have so many other aspects, like the customer experience. For example, you may set a bunch of ads out to call you, but the way that you answer the phones really isn't good. It's not meant for that. You miss a lot of phone calls. Everything's rolling to voicemail, and so you need to figure out what metrics are really meaningful. Like, we know that if we can schedule a meeting, then we have a really good chance of winning the job. So we're focusing on how many meetings we schedule. Okay, well, what gets us more meetings? And then going through that process and defining those metrics for yourself based upon your sales process and what is specific to your business.
Okay, this is really the last one I've got. What is influencer marketing?
So at the beginning, I talked about audience, or in a previous question, I talked about audience will be a huge focus for brands. And essentially, influencer marketing is taking someone who has a trusted audience and then getting them to promote your product, so that now the consumers that are a part of the audience of the influencer, who trust the influencer, are now seeing your product in their hands, in their shop, or whatever it is, so that now they want to purchase it or interact with your brand because the influencer used it. So that's really all it is it's you're paying for somebody else's audience, but maybe you're asking them to make a video for their audience or send out a social post to their audience or whatever it is.
Okay, well, that was our first one, and you were the guinea pig.
I was the guinea pig. I don't know how great that was, but it's out there for people to listen to.
Yeah.
I would love, if you have other marketing questions that you want answers to, please send them our way, and we'll get better at this morning as we record some more. But yeah, thank you for the questions, Martin.
We get a lot better at it if you sent me the questions in advance.
Well, but that ruins the experience, I feel like. Anyways, I'll see you in a few minutes.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks for listening to The Cashflow Contractor. Check out our website in the show notes or visit thecashflowcontractor.com.